Hey, y'all, and welcome back to the Business Hyve Podcast. I'm Jess, here to spark actionable strategies and fun breakthroughs that unleash your business potential. And today, we're getting into something I wish existed years ago when I first had the idea to build my community. We're talking about what it really takes to launch a community that works, not one that just sits there collecting dust while your energy gets pulled in a thousand different directions. Okay. This episode is called the pre launch checklist that's actually worth it. Before we get into the checklist, I want to share why I even care about this so deeply. You already know. I am sure you have seen it on my social media. You have heard me talk about it on this podcast. I created the Business Hyve, which launches, August 13th, because I've been in the room where you're supposed to learn something, but instead you spend most of your time being sold to. I've joined the online groups that promise connection, but conversations never go deeper than that surface level small talk or some random vague advice. And I have paid for programs that you already know gave me all the theory and no support. And I've had more than a few moments in business where I just wanted to find someone, dear God, anyone who understood what it was like to build from the ground up with limited, no, sorry, zero resources, but limitless vision. So I started to ask myself, what would it look like to actually create a space for business owners to build a community? No gimmicks, no fluff, and definitely no six figures in 6 minutes promises. Okay. And that's where the Business Hyve came from. It's a curated community, and it's specifically for small business owners, freelancers, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, founders, those kind of folks who want real guidance, not advice. Not advice. They want guidance. They want somebody to help them, guide them, genuinely support them. And if you're building something that matters and you want to do it without selling your soul or wasting your time, then the Business Hive was made for you. So, inside the community, members get access to weekly live office hours where you and I, just you and me, we chat over live chat and you can ask me questions about your business. I am your digital strategist and I fit in your back pocket. I can fit in your I mean technically I cannot fit in your back pocket. But in theory, I fit in your back pocket. I am there to answer your questions, brainstorm with you, hold your hand, and remind you that you can do this. You'll get exclusive content that's built around what you actually need help with. In fact, inside of the community, I have a place where you can submit suggestions. So if you're having an issue or you need advice on something and you're like, God, I can't be the only one struggling with this, then you can submit it and I will create a workshop around it or a webinar or a lunch and learn, or I'll bring in an expert to talk about it. This is not just my community. This is going to be our community. We're going through this and we're doing this together. This is a resource. And the reason that I chose a community instead of like just doing another course or coaching program is simple. Humans were made to be in community. I believe that to my core. It's how we're wired. And when you build in community, you build faster and you go further with more staying power than if you were alone. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I started building the Business Hive, I didn't have a formal checklist. Okay. I was winging it. I wasn't following some shiny PDF from a marketing guru. I was building something I knew was needed. But in the process, I started to kind of jot down lessons learned or my own list. If I had to do this again, what would I need to know? So, if you're thinking about building your own community, whether it be for creatives or parents or software developers or educators or health professionals, Whatever your audience is, this list is going to save you a little bit of time, a little bit of money, and a whole lot of stress. So, first, I had to get crystal clear on who my audience was. And I'm not talking about demographics or general pain points. I mean, you need to know that stuff, but that's not what I mean here. I needed to understand their lived experience. I mean, their actual frustrations and their routines and what keeps them stuck, what gets them excited, what motivates them. You can't build a community unless you fully 100% understand who it's for and what they're looking for that they haven't found anywhere else. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you that no one else tells you. Everybody tells you to know your audience. I'm going to tell you this. The audience that you know right now is not how you will know them in a year or 3 years or 10 years. You will be getting to know your audience from the day that you launch your business all the way to the day that you sell your business or retire. People are not finite individuals. They're not finite beings. They have infinite angles to them. And you know how they say you never really know a person? Well, it's true because you really kind of never really know yourself. The person that you are today is not the person that you were 5 years ago. And the person you were 5 years ago is not the person you were when you were 7. You change and you will continue to change as long as the good Lord allows you to live. So, with that being said, I say know who your audience is and be clear on them as much as you can. Give yourself some grace because you will never really know them fully. And there's only so much you're going to know in the beginning. Second, I had to get clear on the hole my community was meant to fill. That's different from solving a problem. Okay. This is about identifying the gap between what exists and what people actually need. For me, it was about creating a space that wasn't performative and wasn't pushy and wasn't just a pitch parade. I was looking for what people genuinely needed to be able to find success in their business. And from that, I figured out that not everybody has the same definition of success. I know, mind blown, right? I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, people want to make money. Some people do. Nonprofits, not necessarily. They want to look at how many people can they service. Now, yes, they need money, of course, to be able to service these people, but that might not be the end all be all metric for them. And for me, I'm not trying to have a 10-figure business. So someone that comes along and says, oh, I'm going to help you get to 10 figures, that's not interesting to me. I don't care. So I'm not your demographic. I needed to understand specifically what it is that my audience genuinely needed to get to where they wanted to go. And then came the tech. The technology. What technology was I going to use? And I'm going to tell y'all, I tested so many platforms. And here's what I learned. There's no best platform. A lot of people will come to me and they'll say, well, Jessica, what platform are you using? And, what do you use to do this? And which AI platform do you use? Do you use ChatGPT or do you use something else? And I'm going to be honest with you. The answer is you need to use the platform, the tool, the technology that's easiest for you to manage and most natural for your members to use. Done. That's it. That's what you need to use. And it's going to take you doing some research. It's going to take you using the free trials for these technologies to see which one works for you, for the content that you're creating, for the service you're providing. If it takes 10 steps just to post a question, nobody's going to show up in your community. I tested community platforms during all of their free trials. And then I invited a few people I knew to poke around and tell me what they thought. I paid attention to what felt intuitive versus what was super frustrating. And from there, I was able to pick the platform that worked best for me. And then once I chose the platform, I had to get serious about my value. What would members get on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, monthly, quarterly, yearly? Not just what I could offer, but what they'd actually want, need, use, and show up for. Value isn't about volume. And I know that's very common. They tell you, oh, you need to be posting on social media 50 million times a day. Value is not volume. This is about consistency and relevance. Is it relevant to what the people you are servicing need? I mapped out my live sessions, my resource drops, my how-to videos. I created space for my members to have real-time discussions and conversations. Every layer of my community was built with the members' experience in mind. Now, here's where people get stuck. They build the thing before building the audience. Don't do that. I'm telling you not to do that from experience. Do not do that. If I knew then what I know now, I would have built my audience before I even quit my job. Yes, I know. That's crazy, right? I would have built my audience before I even quit my job. I first started out thinking that I would build my audience after I launched, and I quickly figured out that was the opposite of a good idea. So I changed my strategy and I began growing my list and refining my messaging and nurturing relationships on social media. At that point, immediately, I said, oh, I need to start building this now. I couldn't wait until launch to start talking about it. I had to make sure people were ready and curious and interested before the doors opened. I also spent time researching the landscape. So, not just my direct competitors, but my indirect competitors. What other communities existed that serve the same audience? And what were they doing really well? Like, what were they really good at? In their reviews, what were people ranting and raving about? But also, where were they falling short? What were people complaining about? What was the reason why people were leaving the community or not participating in the community? And most importantly, why would someone choose my community over everything else out there? By answering these questions, I got the clarity that I needed to figure out the best way to position the Business Hive. Equally as important was researching potential collaborators. I was looking for my ketchup and my mustard to my hot dog. I didn't reach out with a cold pitch asking for favors from people. I led with value. I wanted to make a connection, not a surface connection, not a, oh my God, let's work together. No, a genuine, you have something that benefits my audience, and I have something that benefits your audience. How can we connect with each other so that we link arms and run this race together? I showed people how aligning with the Business Hive could benefit them while benefiting me. Because that groundwork, that matters. You don't just go in and say, okay, let's connect and work together. But let's figure out how what I do supports what you do and what you do supports what I do. I always tell people, why do you think rich people, and I'm not talking about surface level rich people. I'm talking about the 1%. Why do you think they go to Monaco? Why do you think they go to Gstaad in Switzerland? They go because they are connecting with each other. Deals are being done. Connections are being made. Honey, weddings are being discussed. They are uniting his son with his daughter, and together that makes the union and the family stronger. And that's one of the things that billionaires do that small business not so great at. So I'm telling you, what I've learned is that you need a community. And the way that you're going to get that is by finding collaborators. Next, I plan the content strategy. And I'm not talking about just social posts, but authority building content. I wanted to talk about things that showed me, one, in a human light, but two, as a thought leader. I wanted people to see that I knew what I was talking about. I wanted to talk to you all in the same way that I spoke in the boardroom at the corporation that I used to work for when I was trying to get them to make a change to their website or implement marketing automation because, dear God, who doesn't have that? I wanted to create content that built trust and got attention and helped people decide that this place, the Business Hive, is where they need to be. I also made a non-negotiable decision. Okay? This is the decision that I made. It is non-negotiable. I do not play about this. I picked one day a week. One day out of 7 that I do not work on my business. Oh my God, mind blown. Everybody's thinking, what are you talking about? You're a new business. You're a small business. You don't have a bank account. You ain't got no job. What are you talking about, Jessica? There is one day out of the week that I take every week, and I do not work on my business. Why? Because your business will take everything you give it. It will suck the life out of you. It will take your heartbeat, every drop of blood, every tear that you have, every breath that comes from your lungs. It will drain you dry. And if you don't protect your energy, you are going to burn out fast. I learned that the hard way. The rest, the ease, the breathing, the moment to yourself, that's not a luxury. That is a business strategy. So you need to decide, what day is it going to be? Well, I can only do a half a day. No, you can't. You can do a whole day. You'll be fine. That will be the day that you will recharge. And finally, I had to get real about what support I needed. Even with all my experience, I wasn't going to do everything alone. Now, a lot of times, you get a little nervous. You're like, well, I help small business owners. What do I look like asking for help? I look like a smart woman asking for help. That's what I look like. And that's what you would look like. Whether it's a tech assistant, a community manager, or joining a support group, like the Business Hive, you need to surround yourself with the people who can help you stay accountable and make smart moves. That's the way you build a business that succeeds. So let's run this back. If you're thinking about launching a community or just a service or a program or a product, this checklist is a solid foundation. You need to know your audience inside and out. You need to understand the gap that your offer, your community, your product fills. You need to test out platforms before committing to anything. You need to design your value in layers. Build your audience as you build the product. You don't build your audience after the product is done. Research competitors. Research complementers. Plan the content strategy and build the trust and visibility that you need. Protect one day a week specifically for you and get support. You were not meant to do this alone. And if you're nodding along thinking, yes, oh my God, this is what I need, then I invite you to check out the Business Hive. It opens officially on August 13th, but the wait list is already live. And if you join now, there's going to be a giveaway. Okay. You'll get special access and special bonuses and $6,000 worth of really good prizes. You don't need another course. You don't need another passive group that goes silent after 2 weeks. You need a space where you can show up as you are, build something meaningful, and get the answers that actually work for you. And that's what the Business Hive is. It's for people who are done chasing trends and ready to build businesses that last. And if that's you, I hope you'll join me. You can find the link to the wait list in the show notes. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe so you never miss an episode. I've got way more insights and strategies and all the conversations coming to you every week. I thank you so much for listening to the Business Hyve Podcast. And until next week, what do I always say? Stay curious, stay consistent, and do it afraid. Bye, y'all.